What's up, guys? John Herrera here. I'm doing my video from home. Uh, Felt like staying and doing my emails in bed and work out some topics for some videos. The challenge for this month is me to add value, give videos on what you guys want to learn. I get a lot of inbox inquiries about how to invest, how. Um, So, since my channel will be mostly about mindset, success, abundance, a little bit on technical stuff, I don't really teach technical stuff. I think you can go to YouTube for that. But this is a video I wanted to discuss because this is the most asked question in my Facebook inbox and comments. If you look into my comments, you'll see posts with I post a before and after of a stock or an investment earning so much 15 years later. It's built compound interest. So today's video will be about things to plan for before you invest, because a lot of people who ask how don't even have understanding what they want. It's okay. That's why I'm putting this video out here to add value. So before you invest into anything, or even go into any type of investment, you should ask yourself, get clear on your goals and understand what you really want. People don't know what they want. The number one thing is that they take advice from people who don't have the best advice and haven't had the results to prove it. So if you're going to take advice from people who know, who are experts, who have the result. So things to plan for before you invest anything, any type of money. Yeah, so the first thing I think what I want to discuss is you have to have a budget in mind. A lot of people like to invest and get excited. I want to invest. I want to invest. I don't know how much. So I think when investing, you need to understand what asset allocation is. Within a monthly or yearly budget, what are you willing to put aside to grow your money? Uh, you have to write these things down. I always say, have a piece of paper, a yellow pad, write it down. If you don't have a budget, there's no discussion of why you should invest. You shouldn't invest to make a quick buck, because that's what people think. If I put 100 pesos, will I be a millionaire next month? No, I'll be honest. I get a lot of that because they think it's passive income. Uh, I prefer choosing the long term, focus on building retirement funds, focus on using the equities and a lot of the compound interest, so long term. So number one, choose a budget. You should asset allocate. What can you look at your lifestyle, put it aside. For example, you spend 5,000 on food that you don't need to. It's just going out, or drinks. A lot of people spend money on alcohol, and I see a lot of people put money out on alcohol. And if you can convert that 5 or 10,000 money, you put it aside and say, this is the budget I'm going to use with discipline. So discipline is very key. You need to put money aside. This goes for, shopping, all the things that you don't need, but looking at, what you want to put aside for a investment growth fund. So you have a budget. Two is, what's the goal? I did a BSP talk last week, and people don't set goals. I think one of the things they lack, especially in college or high school, is you need to set goals in life, and you need to set financial goals, midterm goals, long-term goals. What's a midterm goal? It's people want to buy a car. You need to know how much that is. You have to study interest rates. People who want to travel, they want to travel and say, hey, I want to go to Europe. Look at deals. Look at how you can pay it off with certain credit cards that have best promos, and look at Airbnb. You need to research these things. So if you have a goal, you now have a plan to work around it, because a goal can be a house, it can be a retirement fund, it can be a educational fund, it can be estate planning. So you can have multiple goals, different vehicles, different budgets. So now that you have a goal, think of a goal, write it down. Now, three is, you have to look at a timeline. What is the timeline that you're willing to do this discipline, put aside money to get that goal with your budget? So if you're looking at a car, what are you willing to put aside for the next 2 years? If you want to buy a car, if you can get a loan, perfect. Is it a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year plan? because you're building a family. Everyone is different. Everyone has a different timeline, different budget, different lifestyle. So look at a timeline. Within the next 10 years, I want to plan my retirement fund. Within the next 5 years, I'm going to prepare an education fund. Within the next 2 years, I'm going to prepare a Euro trip. So now that you have a budget, now you have a goal, and you have a timeline. Now, before anything, you have a budget, you have a goal, and you have a timeline. What type of risk appetite? So you need to do your research. You need to ask people who are actually doing it, who've done it, and don't let fear get into you, because the more you're more aware, the more knowledge you actually have, build more confidence. I put a video about compound interest, and people say it's a scam. Compound interest is a natural, what he called eighth wonder by Albert Einstein. And people are just ignorant, and people don't know and don't read. I think if people stop watching news and negative, nonsense TV, and just actually picked up a book, you could actually be more financially conscious. So risk appetite meaning each thing has a risk. So I'm not saying business is high risk. So each investment vehicle can be bonds, it can be an insurance, it can be UITF, it can be stocks, it can be, so with that timeline, goal, and budget, you know what you're getting into. Find a mentor or advisor to advise you on that. So if you were to get an expert, find someone to guide you, hold your hand. The reason why people try to, jump in and get so excited is they jump into a business hoping money will come in from the business. They don't know businesses take 3 to 5 years to ROI because it's not stable. And they say 9 out of 10 businesses after 5 years are not open. So they said, well, let's take a chance. Perfect. So what I choose, is different from you. My risk appetite is also depending on your age. So, okay, after the risk appetite, now you choose a vehicle. What is a vehicle? What is an investment vehicle? Of course, every investment vehicle is different. You can choose Bitcoin as an investment vehicle. You can choose mutual funds, UITF, bonds, BUL. You can look at stock trading. You can look at Forex. There's so many vehicles. The best thing today is that you have YouTube. It's free. Research it. I feel like I put these things out, but they still need to do your self research. You need to educate, because if I tell them something, they're not open to it. They're not going to be willing to learn. So that's why with financial planning and investing is you need to put these things in perspective. I see a lot of people being more aware of the financial awareness, but it takes a big wake-up call, especially when it's too late, when they haven't planned, when they're retiring, when they get sick. I'm seeing 3 GoFundMe accounts on my Facebook. They didn't plan for critical illness. How do you protect these things? I see people who have so much property, but when some parent dies, they have to pay for estate tax planning, and they don't plan for it because they didn't listen. So first of all, educate yourself. There are so many free books. Everything is online. Find a person who knows what they're doing. There are a lot of people who just say, I'm selling something, but do you know what the blueprint of your life is? What is the purpose of your fund? So you need to talk about, your 4 pillars of wealth: creation, growing, managing, and contribution, which is, it can be tithing, it can be estate tax planning. So there's a spiritual side about money, and it becomes emotional. But the more you discuss this with people, the more you educate, you're less likely to make a mistake. So sit down with somebody who can talk to you, who can guide you and give you the big picture. A lot of people say, yeah, I have an investment. I'm putting 1,000 pesos each month. Okay, great. You have 5 kids. That's not enough. They think they're gonna be a millionaire with 1,000 pesos a month, and they have 5 kids, and they want to send their kids to these fancy schools and retire at 55. So we have to do a reality check. Look at your reality. Look at your point B. What's the gap? That's why I'm so interested with coaching, because there are so many people who don't know what they're doing, and it's a great platform to create awareness and to help people. So look at yourself, ask yourself, what is the amount I need at a retirement age? How do I plan for my educational fund? What do I do if I get sick and my company doesn't give me my HMO? A lot of people, pensions are cut off. A lot of, HMO don't protect certain things. So look at everything. So as a holistic point of view, we plan, we figure out your whole life, and look at it like a doctor. If you're going to a doctor each year for a physical, you need to go to a financial doctor and look at what is your blueprint, what is your psychology with money, and how are you treating your money blueprint. So yeah, I hope this video is a little bit more informative. I'm shooting at different scenes. I forgot to bring my mic, but yeah, I like these videos now because I'm more, into adding, I have more time now, and I'm gonna add more value. So leave some feedback, leave some, comments, shoot me a message if you have anything you want to learn or know about. I'm free to actually help. So have a great day.